Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review will be The Good Liar, starring Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren. Ian plays as Roy Courtney, and Helen plays as Betty McLeish. Let's get into it. So all movie aficionados who've seen the trailers for this movie pretty much can tell what was going to happen. It just was a matter of how they got to that point. So the trailer shows Roy Courtney is a scammer, and he scams people, and it shows him meeting Helen offline. I mean, not Helen, Betty offline, and she's like a gullible old woman, and she has some money, and he's going to scam her to get the money. So anybody that's watched tons of movies always can see, well, that's what they're showing you. The real plot is she's going to scam him out of his money. Just a matter of how she's going to do it and how they get to that point. So that intrigues you to watch it. And pretty much the movie is bland. It drags a little, so it could get boring, and then it kick up a little bit. So you're interested to find out how did she internalize scam him. So pretty much Roy, he's been scamming people. He's using her, well, he thinks he's using her to confide in him. They build up a relationship. She tells him she doesn't want to have sex with him, but they're together more off a companionship. He rides with it. He got his finance guy who he's been scamming with, and pretty much to convince her that he's all in, he put all his money into the joint account that the finance guy pretty much told them they should join the account together so that they can get a bigger return. His plan was, once she put all her money in, he put all his money in, he was going to take the keypad that he had and then retransfer the money somewhere else. So because she was already up on everything he was doing, she took the keypad from him, and he didn't know. So when he lied and said he was going to visit his son, which he really didn't have a son, pretty much when he got to the hotel, he didn't have that keypad. So he came all the way home and seen all the furniture was missing, and she was sitting in the dark waiting for him. So he act like he just was popping up, and then she started running down to him her story on who she was, and then she knows he's been lying, and she's basically been transferring the money out of the account in increments. And so she pretty much told him that who she was when she was a young girl. When he was 15, he came to his house, her house with her family, to tutor her to speak English. And one day while he was there, he came across seeing her older sisters, and they invited him in the room, and then they kind of let him on in the sense that he was dancing with them, and he pushed up on one of them to kiss him, and they pushed him off, and then he pretty much at that point stepped on her dress, and her dress ripped, and so they kicked him out the room. He went downstairs, and she's a little girl, but she was fond of him, and when he thought he would get revenge for what the sisters did, he raped her. So she never came out and screamed and told her family. So the mom came in, and she came behind, she's in behind the door, and the mom came in basically saying the dad wanted to speak to her, and the dad told him pretty much, the daughters told him what he did, and he pretty much said, they told him his services was no longer needed. So what he in return did as revenge at the dad, he went and told some people something about the dad, and the dad lost his job. He died. It was a factory. The dad owned a business, and the dad lost his job. They went under. The mom couldn't handle it. The mom committed suicide. Then when World War II happened, a bomb happened to one of their places, and the three sisters, they got killed, and then she remained, and then she got into a whole bunch of other stuff. So she lived her whole life to get revenge on him. So that's pretty much her story, why she wanted to get back at him. And it was some people he scammed that was supposed to be his partners early in the movie, and so she left just enough for the money that they owed him, and pretty much told them he had their money, and if he lies, don't believe him, because that's the amount he has left. So she walked out the house, and they pretty much beat him up, and they didn't kill him. He ended up in a assisted living home for the elderly, and his finance guy shows up to see him. So he's coherent, like in thoughts and looking, but he didn't say anything. The finance guy showed up, looked at him, and said, "This is champagne," and gave him a drink. He drunk it and whatever. So it went off like that. I guess they would see how well it do to see if they could potentially do a part 2. I don't think they would want to see a part 2, but the part 2, if the movie did well in the box office, they would, him snapping out of his situation and revenge on getting back at her. And his finance guy turned on him because they was in cahoots, but he turned on him because her supposedly be grandson, but it really wasn't, threatened him that they know his business and he could come up on charges and it'll look bad on his family. So other than that, the movie was bland. It was, okay movie to watch, but it's a pass movie. Out of my 4-star rating system, I'm gonna give this movie 1.5 out of 4 stars. If you ain't got nothing to watch, you can watch it. Other than that, it's a pass. If you're already a subscriber, like the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Also like the video. Make sure your notification button is on all, so that you can get all the content when I upload a video. Trying to build a channel, establish a community. Till next time.